Chapter 4 or Chapter 6, Effects of the British Rule in India, Part 2. In Part 1, I have explained you about the conditions of peasant and agriculture during British rule. What was the condition of peasants? Means the person who was handling small business and the farmer also, you can say. So how the Britishers got the opportunity, new opportunity of having the income, to increase the income due to the Diwani rights, which Diwani rights means to collect the land revenue. और किस तरीके से they forced to the people to have the to pay the land tax, and they have given this duty to the landlords, zamindars, to collect the revenue of land. So after that, what was the effects on the social life? अब इसके effects क्या हुए in the social life, people के life में? So previous, as I explained you for the social life, that in ancient time Indians were having the self rule, means वो खुद ही रूल कर रहे थे, as there were no government, no one was there to ruling over there. So many of the villages like a republic, they were running as a republicly. So Gram Panchayat was the backbone for the self-rule. The main administration was handled by the Gram Panchayat. So as the British introduced many of the policies, so their ancient self-rule was destroyed, was vanished. So as the Britishers implemented their rule, तो जो उनका ancient self-rule था वो destroy हो गया. So we'll see in this chapter other topics are like destruction of Indian trade and industries. Then we'll see the suspicion about the reforms. So let's proceed with the destruction of trade and industries. Now we'll see the destruction of Indian trade and industries. But destruction happened when the British implemented their rule. Before the British, how Indians trade and industries were working in India, we'll see. So the handloom items were supplied to the international market in Asia and Europe. The handlooms की जो चीजें होती थी, that we were supplying to the markets of Asia and Europe. So European countries traders purchased commodities. So as we were supplying many of the goods to the foreign countries, so foreign countries people, they used to come over here in India to purchase the different types of commodities, means different types of raw material or products, you can say. यहाँ पे चीजें purchase करने के लिए आते थे, so that they can take that things to make the complete product. So in India, jute, silk, woolen and cotton textiles were having huge amount. इन चीजों से related, the production of these things were having huge in India. So these commodities in foreign countries were having high demand. So in foreign countries there was a high demand of these commodities, and the muslin of Dhaka was also world famous. Dhaka की जो muslin, the muslin cloth which is called malmal, that cloth was very famous in the across the world. So they came to purchase this also. Apart of all the textiles के अलावा कुछ ऐसी चीजें थी, so we were exporting to the foreign countries. So what the things were? Salt, petrol, sugar, etc. These are also the things where we were doing exporting of such things. So when we were exporting the goods, in return we were getting the tremendous amount of bullens. Now what is the mean of bullen? Bullens means related to gold and silver, either coins or anything, but related to the gold and silver. When we were exporting the things to the foreign countries, and they were giving in exchange of that bullens of gold and silver. So when the British rule implemented in India, so our Indian trade and industry got destroyed. As I say, there was a flow of export. The commodities which we were exporting, in return we were getting the bullens. So that flow of bullens got reversed. So in the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, when when the industrial revolution happened, ये सारी destroy means destruction कैसे हुआ? Industrial revolution जब हुआ, when we saw, so there was a 500 crore rupees according to the today's standard only Britishers has earned from the Bengal only. It means अगर हम देखें कि 200 years तक जो ब्रिटिशर्स ने हमारे ऊपर रूल किया था, so within that they have earned 500 crore rupees as per today's. So 500 crore rupees they have earned only and only from the Bengal. तो ऐसे अगर हम इतने सारे स्टेट्स और सिटीज का बात करने लगे तो कितना, जस्ट इमेजिन द ब्रिटिश वुड हैव कम्युलेटेड फ्रॉम द होल कंट्री, कितना उसने एक्यूमुलेटेड किया होगा, कितना उसने इंडियन का मनी ले लिया होगा. सो लाइक दैट एज द ब्रिटिशर्स एंटर्ड इन इंडिया, जैसे उनका ट्रेड बढ़ता गया, एज दे हैव इम्प्लीमेंटेड देयर डिफरेंट पॉलिसीज इन इंडिया, सो देयर वाज एन एडवर्स इफेक्ट and the effect was the destruction of Indian trade and industries. I said the wealth of the British would have accumulated from the whole country. कितना पैसा उन्होंने इकट्ठा किया होगा from the country. With the help of the raw materials produced in India, the money collected from India, the business and industry in England prospered. Now with the help of the Indian raw material, British Indian raw material produced in India, we have exported the raw material to the European countries. और वहाँ पे उन्होंने अपने बहुत सारे business and industries they have set up of the products, the raw material of the Indians, means of India. So that's why England prospered. इस वजह से जो England the England is getting prosperous, वो wealthy बनता गया. Their mills started progressing as they have the many industries, factories. So raw material we are giving from here, we are exporting from India to the England. So उनके जो factories थे, उनके जो industries थे, they were progressing like anything. The cloth manufactured in England was imported in India without levying any duty on it, whereas there were taxes up to 80% the cloth manufactured in India. Now the cloth manufactured in England, the cloth which was manufactured in England, as they were importing to India, in that there was no tax. But the clothes which were manufactured in India, if they export, or the people those are purchasing from India only, they have to pay the 80% tax on the clothes. So this difference was there. If we were importing from the England, so there was no tax, but if we are purchasing from the India only, so there was the tax of the 80%. So as a result, textile made in India become costlier. That's why India में जो कपड़ा है वो बहुत महंगा बिकने लगा. In the Indian handicraft and cottage industries could not withstand the competition and they could not sustain themselves. As I have told you that we were exporting the raw material in the foreign countries, in the England. So we were having small cottage industries in India, and in that very skilled person were working as a labor. But as the competition was increased, जैसे कि competition बहुत ज़्यादा increase हो रहा था, so these small people, this cottage industry people, they were not sustained in front of the Britishers. वो competition में खड़े नहीं हो पाए. So many skill-based industries of our country like textile industry, glass, paper, mineral, shop building, etc. got ruined due to the policies of the British. As the British has introduced many of the policies related to the trade कि कहाँ पे टैक्स ज़्यादा होगा, इन सच कहीं पे टैक्स बहुत ज़्यादा, इंटरेस्ट बहुत ज़्यादा लिया जाता है. ड्यू टू दिस many of our textiles got ruined, खराब हो गई, डिस्ट्रॉय हो गई, बंद हो गई. So the industries were glass, paper, mineral. These industries were get ruined. So just because of this, जैसे कि वो जो इंडस्ट्रीज हैं, हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज का डिस्ट्रक्शन हुआ just because of the policies of the British. तो इनकी वजह से many of the skilled workers जो छोटे कॉटेज इंडस्ट्री में काम कर रहे थे या कुछ टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्रीज में काम कर रहे थे, कुछ डिफरेंट इंडस्ट्रीज में काम कर रहे थे, just because of this they got unemployed, वो बेरोजगार हो गए. Gradually the poor workers of the rural area of India became poorer. इसी तरीके से जो poor worker थे of the rural areas, they became more and more poor as you can see the picture on 34 page number, plight of cottage industries India. It means the worst condition they have shown of that period on the in the picture on 34 page number. As you can see the picture, this shows the unemployment of the people and they were not able to sustain in the competition against the British. So how the Britishers introduced the policy and destruction of Indian trade and industries happened in India. So I hope you have understand this topic. Now we'll move further for the suspicion about the reforms. Means किस तरीके के suspicions थे reforms को लेके, changes को लेके. So we'll see when William Bentinck came to India, liberal thinking was getting its stronghold in England. Now when William Bentinck came to India from the England, the thinking was liberal. उनकी जो thinking थी थोड़ी liberal होती जा रही थी. So this way of thinking slowly reached in India. This type of thinking was there in England, and that thinking he has brought in India also. The British rulers started taking interest in the lives of people in India. Now the Britishers have started taking interest in the people's life, how they are living, Indian people. Lord William Bentinck became quite popular in India by introducing few beneficial reforms. And why Lord William Bentinck was very famous? Because he has made many of the reforms which was beneficial for the Indian people also. During his time, Indians started getting job in company administration. Indians were allowed to use their mother tongue in the court of law. As previously the Britishers asked them to speak in English only, means they were not allowed to use their mother language. But when William Bentinck came, he given permission to all the Indians they can use their mother language in the court of law even. Rajaram Mohan Roy and the other social reforms were constantly making efforts to stop the evil practice of sati. At that time, in the ancient time, you are aware about the sati pratha. So we were following that custom, right? That ritual we were following. So Rajaram Mohan Roy and along that person, other social reformers, दूसरे जो social reformers थे जो changes लाते थे, they also constantly make the effort कि ये प्रथा जो है वो बंद की जाए. So Bentinck agreed to this effort and passed a law in 1829 to ban the practice of sati. So Bentinck agreed. William Bentinck, he was agreed that कि ये प्रथा बंद होनी चाहिए. So he has passed a law in 1829 and ban on the practice of sati. ये प्रथा को ban कर दिया था in 1829. During this time of William Bentinck, the English ruler tried to eradicate the social evils as per the will of the social reformers. So when the William Bentinck was ruling, so the English rulers थे, they tried to eradicate. उन्होंने सोचा कि क्यों ना ऐसी जो प्रथाएं चल रही है उसे खत्म कर दिया जाए, उसे eradicate किया जाए, so that as per the will of the social reformers, according to the social reformers thinking, जो social reformers चाहते हैं कि ये प्रथा खत्म होनी चाहिए तो क्यों ना खत्म कर दी जाए. The orthodox class witnessed these reforms with suspicion. Now the orthodox people जो बहुत culture को मानते हैं, जो बहुत rituals को मानते हैं, so the narrow minded people, what they thought कि ये एक suspicion है, why they are changing our culture. Then the company has passed the resolution. What kind of resolution they have passed? That spend of 1 lakh rupees every year on education. So they have passed a resolution for the Indians also. Okay, we should spend 1 lakh rupees every year on education, but somehow it was not yet implemented. So finally they decided to have the education committee. So they have formed education committee during Bentinck time, William Bentinck time in 1834. In that, Lord Macaulay thought of introducing English education in India. During William Bentinck time, they have thought to introduce education committee, and they have formed education committee in 1834 where Lord Macaulay thought of introduction of education, English education in India. So the method of British education system was opposed by a number of intellectuals and Mahatma Gandhi also. So as the Lord Macaulay thought of introduction of English education in India, so somewhere it was not possible due to the youth of Indians. And somewhere they believe that Indians have not got the skill, not developed the skills what their ancestors have. So somewhere they thought like Indians have lost the chance to have the good quality of education. So the method of British education system, the British education, the method they have, many of the intellectual of Indians and even Mahatma Gandhi has also taken a pose, and the Mahatma Gandhi said it as to give millions of knowledge to English is to enslave them. Mahatma Gandhi ji ने ये कहा, they are giving us more knowledge of English just because कि हम उनके enslave बन जाए, as the whole nation be a enslave to them. That's why they are spreading the English language education to the Indians. Then after there was established 3 universities in 1857, and the Britishers could get educated workforce, and the Britishers, the Indian, those who were educated at that time, they got the good force of educated people due to the introduction of English education, and they developed the nationalistic thinking among the educated Indians. जो उस टाइम पे Indian लोग पढ़े लिखे थे, so they have taken the admission and they have developed the nationalistic thinking among the Indians, those who were educated at that time. So after that, many machines also invented during his time, and many facilities also introduced like transportation and communication, so that communication can be possible near the boundaries, near the territories of the state, and convenience in running means convenience in working smoothly, administration and strategy, and to take the importance of the British and to take the importance of the military. Britishers have also introduced the railway, ताकि military को अगर कहीं पहुंचना हो या कहीं जाना हो in an emergency, so they can go. So William Bentinck has changed has made the many of the changes and introduced a good things which is good for the Indians also. And then in order to maintain the effective control on the country and to extend message with the neighboring territories, modern method of post and telegraph were introduced in India in 1854 CE. Printing press and circulation of newspaper grew alongside. So अगर इफेक्टिव कंट्रोल रखना था ब्रिटिशर्स को, इफ दे वांट टू कीप इफेक्टिव कंट्रोल और उनको अपना वर्क जो है वो स्मूथली रन करना था इंडियन कंट्री में, तो कुछ और फैसिलिटीज उन्होंने इंट्रोड्यूस की, जैसे वो सो दैट दे कैन एक्सचेंज द मैसेज टू द नेबरिंग कंट्रीज, नेबरिंग टेरिटरीज. सो कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो तो उन्हें पता चले, अगर समवेयर दे हैव टू शेयर एनी इंफॉर्मेशन, सो दे कैन. सो दे इंट्रोड्यूस द मॉडर्न मेथड ऑफ post and telegraph in 1854. Along with that, printing press also developed and the circulation of newspaper grew alongside. Circular of newspaper means newspaper बेचना भी उस टाइम शुरू हो चुका था. So these reforms were actually for the convenience of the British rule in India, but it turned out to be a blessing in disguise for the growth of nationalism in India. 100% surely these reforms were actually introduced for the convenience of the British rule. British rule का और आसानी से और उनको Britishers को benefit मिले. That's why they have made many of the reforms. But somewhere it was blessing for us. Through that, the growth of nationalism increased in India. The class that acquired the English education spearheaded the social reforms and nationalism in India. So the English education का जो spread हो रहा था, just because of that it increased the social reformers जो social में socially changes लाना चाहते थे, and the nationalism and in nationalism also. तो उसमें काफ़ी चेंजेस आना शुरू हो गए. सो इट वॉज बेनिफिशियल फॉर इंडियंस since they more familiar with the contemporary developments in the world around. So they were more familiar in the development of the world around. The post and telegraph brought people closer. So the telegraph and the post which Britishers has introduced for themselves. So it, as I said, it was blessing for us. So the people those who were living far and the people those who were far away, so just because of that thing the people get closure. I hope you have understand this chapter properly. If you have any doubts, so we'll solve in the live session. Go through with the video properly, study well at your place. Good day and stay healthy.